Good morning, students. Today in this session, I am going to discuss the last topic of chapter problem of deficient demand and excess demand, where I am going to explain you how inflationary gap is different from deflationary gap. Though already we have done inflationary gap at the time of the excess demand and deflationary gap during the time of deficient demand, but still to let you know the difference between two. So the very first difference between inflationary gap and deflationary gap is, under inflationary gap, it is the excess of AD over and above its level required to maintain full employment equilibrium in the economy. That means inflationary gap is a gap where the AD, that is the demand, the planned demand is more than the required. That means the resources where are fully utilized till the demand is being generated. Whereas under deflationary gap, it is the deficiency of AD from the level required to maintain full employment equilibrium in the economy. That means deflationary gap is a deficiency of AD, means where the demand is less in comparison to the potential of an economy to produce more. Then second, under inflationary, it occurs when AD is greater than AS corresponding to full employment level, means where AD, that is aggregate demand, is much high than the aggregate supply in spite of the fact that the resources are fully employed and there is a situation of full employment. Still the demand is being generated. Whereas in deflationary gap, it occurs when AD is less than AS corresponding to full employment level. Means it's a situation when aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply. That means that in the economy there is a possibility to produce more. Means there are number of the resources which are unutilized but demand is not generated. Then the third is, under inflationary gap, level of output is constant at full employment. That means they're telling you that it's a time where the level of output cannot be increased. The reason, because all the resources are fully used, are fully employed. So there is no way to increase the output because all the resources are completely used. Whereas in deflationary gap, the level of output is less than that full employment. The reason that still there are number of the resources which are not being utilized. So there is a position where more of the production could be done but demand is not generating. Then the next is, there is no unemployment or underemployment in the economy. Under inflationary, as all the resources are fully utilized, so there is no situation of unemployment or underemployment. Whereas under deflationary gap, there is an unemployment or underemployment. The reason, because resources are not fully utilized, resources are not fully employed. The reason, because the AD is less in comparison to AS. Maximum resources are left unutilized. Then the last is that under inflationary, it leads to wage price spiral, or wage catches prices and price catches wages while GDP remains constant. That means over here the price rise but the output does not rise. This situation is a situation when we say that GDP remains constant. Now over here what happens? Wages catch price, because when you pressurize the existing resources, then what happens? The wages, that means the cost of the labor increase. And as the cost of the labor will increase, automatically the cost of production will increase. When cost of production will increase, what will happen? The wages will increase. When wages will increase, then standard of living will increase, and again what will happen? The price will increase. That means the wage catches price and price catches wages. So it's a situation which we call a wage price spiral situation. Whereas in deflationary gap, it leads to low level of equilibrium trap. Low AD leads to low income and low income leads to low AD. That means over here what happens? Due to low AD, the income is also low. When AD means the demand is not generated, then investment is not done. When investment is not done, then income is not done. Income is not being generated. When income is not being generated, and automatically the AD will not be generated. So it's a sort of an equilibrium trap. So that is the difference between inflationary gap and deflationary gap. Now the next difference is between monetary policy and fiscal policy, which are the two different measures for correcting the problem of deficient demand and excess demand. Though already we have done it, but the difference between two is, if we take the first one, monetary policy, it is the policy of correcting excess or deficient demand in the economy by controlling the supply of credit. Till this monetary policy is a policy which has been used to correct the problem of deficient demand and excess demand by controlling the supply of credit, means to control the supply of credit creation which has been done by the commercial bank. So during the time of, let's say, when there is an inflation or when there is more of the AD, excess demand, so what they do is that they control the supply of credit, they curb, and at the time of the deficient demand they release the liquidity. Now when we talk about the fiscal policy, it is a policy of correcting excess or deficient demand in the economy by managing revenue and expenditure of the government. Means this policy used by the government that at the time of excess demand or a deficient demand, when there is inflation, deflation in the economy, they use their revenue and expenditure policy to correct the situation, either to raise the revenue or to increase the expenditure, or either to reduce the revenue or reduce the expenditure to correct the problem of the excess and deficient. Then the second difference is, under monetary policy, it is pursued by the central bank of a country or RBI. Means monetary policy are being taken by the RBI. RBI uses it as an instrument for controlling the inflation and deflation. Whereas when we talk about fiscal policy, it is pursued by the government of a country. Fiscal policy is a policy, or also known as, let's say, a budgetary policy of the government. Here government uses its policy of revenue and expenditure to control the problem of inflation and deflation. Then under monetary policy, the last one is tools of monetary policy for controlling the excess and deficient demand is bank rate, repo rate, reverse repo rate, open market operation, cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, margin requirement, moral suasion, and credit rationing. All these instruments already we have discussed previously in the previous session, that how these instruments are being used at the time when there is an excess demand and at the same time when there is a deficient demand. When we talk about a fiscal policy, it's a tool of fiscal policy which has been used by the government. It's a government expenditure. Government uses it as an increase and decreasing the expenditure or the taxes, public borrowings, or borrowing from central bank. Again, already we have discussed in the previous session that how these tools of the government are being used at the time to increase or decrease during the time when there is a problem of deficient demand and excess demand. So children, these are the difference between the monetary policy and the fiscal policy. Thank you.